score 17-all. We now pause for a word from your local stations. Wayne Walker, Johnny Morris, Tampa Bay and the Rams, 17-all. 2nd and 7 from the 10 here. This is Nathan Wansley on the toss, and he won't get a thing. Things continue to go kind of conservatively here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their play selection.
And bear in mind that the Bucs have not scored a point in the 4th quarter, 40-0 against them. And Steve Young is going to have to. The running game is not working all that much right now, but the way they're playing it, they might as well have Steve DeBerg in there because he's the strong arm thrower who sits back in the pocket and throws. They haven't done anything out of the ordinary with Steve Young and taken advantage of his abilities. I hate to keep harping on that, but it seems to me they got to do something.
3rd and 9. Young on a draw to Wansley. He breaks it out, but he'll be short of first down yardage, and the Buccaneers will have to kick it away. Nolan Cromwell making the defensive play from his safety position along with Mike Wilcher, the outside linebacker. So the punting unit comes on the field for the Buccaneers. Garcia with a 21-yard kick, his last effort. Kicking out of his own end zone. He's near that end zone right now as he's standing right on the goal line. Mickey Sutton is deep for the Rams. He's at his 43.
Well, the Bucs have had their back against the wall ever since they scored the touchdown. They've
been getting a good job done defensively in this half. Another wobbler by Garcia that Sutton takes on the 45 across midfield to about the 44-yard line of Tampa Bay. Jackie Walker makes the special team hit, a 38-yard kick and an 11-yard return. So the Rams with good field position to start this possession.
I think the thing we have to keep in mind is the Rams were heavily favored into this game. As you look at some of the scores there, San Francisco 21-14 now, and Dallas has scored against Denver.
Barry Redden and Eric Dickerson, the running backs for the Rams. The best field position to start a drive for the Rams today. The ball is on the 44-yard line, 1st and 10. Bills to throw. And he swings it out to Redden, and it's complete. It's short of first down by about 2 or 3 yards. Redden made a good catch on a ball that was low.
Yes, he did, and now the Rams are in a good situation. 2nd down on short yardage. They can do just about what they want. The timing on that pass wasn't really all that good either. He was out there clear much earlier than that before Dills finally hit him. But here's a key situation when you got 2nd and 3 or 2nd and 4. The offense has all the advantage. It's like having an 0-2 count as a pitcher in baseball.
Dickerson moves back into the eye. Bills to throw, and it's complete to Duckworth for the first down. Ricky Eastman, the cornerback, and Jackie Walker, the linebacker, defensively for Tampa Bay. So 2 completions in a row now for Steve Dills and the Rams, and it's getting the crowd motivated a touch. They've been extremely quiet today.
I believe that's just about the first pass caught by a wide receiver, isn't it? I think that's Duckworth's first pass. They've caught a couple, but the wide receivers have not been much of a factor.
1st and 10 now from the 32-yard line. 17-all. 11:52 remaining in the ball game. That's Duckworth in motion. Play action reverse, and Swope runs right into it. He's made some big plays the second half. The rookie safety from Illinois has been all over the field and has really been timely on his blitzing.
Well, he has really crossed up the Buccaneers. The safety up there on the line of scrimmage coming across and messing up the flow of the Rams' offensive pass blocking scheme. And of course, they were trying to do a reverse that time. So Craig Swope, who missed a few tackles early, along with Sully, has really come on.
Makes it a 2nd and 15 now. Long yardage situation for the Rams. Ron Brown in motion. Bills to throw. This is Redden over the middle. Complete for a pickup of 6 or 7. Scott Brantley. with a defensive play.
Okay, you'll see red number 30 come right out from the left of your screen right over the middle, but it's not a play that's going to get you 15 or 20 yards. And so now they have a 3rd and long situation, 3rd and 11. And we'll see how the Buccaneers play it. Will they come with the blitz or will they drop them off? Most teams will drop them off and give you the short one. We'll see if the Bucs do that.
Big down right here for both teams. 3rd and 11 from the 33. Slant in to Michael Young. Near the first down yardage. Bobby Futrell on a defensive coverage. But Young may have enough for the first down depending on where they mark it.
This is the time the Bucs blitzed. Swope came on the blitz, and Dills did a good job of picking it up and hitting Young to beat the blitz over the middle.
Calling for the measurement. A lot of pressure on those cornerbacks when you blitz your safeties a lot, which they've been doing with Swope, and that time the Rams capitalized on it, run a slant-in pattern to the area vacated by the blitzing safety.
Basically, it's the first time they really have capitalized on it. The first time. They're about a yard short, but you can bet they're going to go for it.
Go for the field goal? That's what they're going to do, Johnny. They've got Lansford trotting out.
Well, let's see. It's going to be almost be from about the 29-yard line, 30-yard line. It's a 40-yard field goal.
Be about a 40-yard kick for him. He's 5 of 6. Actually 6 of 7 on the season.
Well, if he misses it, they'll say, hey, they had a 3rd and less than a yard. They should have gone for it and gone down. We'll see. We can second guess afterwards.
4th down here now. Steve Dills on the hold. Plenty long enough, and he's got it. And the Rams have a lead. So the Rams regain the lead that they had maintained in the entire first half. 2017 Los Angeles with 9:41 left in the game. The Rams have never trailed in this one. They jumped out in front 14-0 in the first period. Tampa Bay came back to eventually tie it up 17-17 in the 3rd quarter on a 59-yard run by Nate Wansley. But now it's Los Angeles 2017 because of a field goal by that man, Mike Lansford. The wind blows the ball off the tee. 9:41 remaining in this one.
You know, they took the Rams team picture yesterday, and Lansford, who's that, had a mask. He put a mask on. Who's that monster, the guy used to turn green on television?
The Incredible Hulk?
The Incredible Hulk. He had an Incredible Hulk mask on his face, and he kind of messed up the picture, I think. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Cromwell comes over. It blows off one more time. They'll probably have someone kneel and hold it for him. Freeman, number 81, is deep for the Buccaneers. A low driving kick that he'll take at the 5. Across the 20. He found a gap. It's on the sideline across the 35 and out at about the 37-yard line before the kicker himself, Lansford, knocked him out of bounds. A 33-yard return by Phil Freeman.
And one of the keys there was that was a line drive ball. It got down there and able to get the horseman out front. And Freeman kept his eyes open as the crease opened up, and it had to be Lansford, barefoot and all. He had to make the saving tackle, and he did a good job of forcing Freeman out of bounds. So the Buccaneers got good field position, 38-yard line.
But they still have not scored in the 4th quarter of any game this season. 1st and 10. Wansley in the backfield with Steve Young. It's Carter in motion. Wansley on a toss and won't get a thing. Johnny Johnson, who got the start today at the left cornerback spot with a good defensive play.
And give some credit to Mel Owens. He came across the line of scrimmage to force Wansley to turn up the field. He knew he couldn't get outside. So let's see if the Buccaneers come up with something a little fancy here.
Wansley lost a yard at 2nd and 11 now from the 37. 8:58 on the clock and moving. Young out of the pocket. A pump fake and deep for Carter, but it's overthrown. Johnson again, good coverage over on the far sideline against Carter.
You got to give Johnson some credit. Having to fill in over there at the cornerback spot like that.
Remember what Lehman Bennett told us yesterday, though, Johnny, if there was one area that he'd like to improve his team in, it's speed at wide receiver.
That's right. Well, Kevin House has some pretty good speed, but his production has gone down steadily in the last 2 or 3 years. I think he caught, well, was in the 70s one year and then down to 40s. He's only caught 5 passes so far this season.
It remains 3rd and 11 now. Young again. Protection breaks down and he's down. The second sack of the afternoon. And Young may be hurt. Gary Jeter, number 77.
And Doug Reed was also in on that play as the pocket completely collapsed on Steve Young. And you're vulnerable, especially if you get hit low like that. But it looks like he's going to be okay.
Wasn't much downfield. You got to credit that Rams secondary, too. Young had time for a couple looks downfield, but nothing was there. Garcia to kick. Sutton is deep. He hits a good one. Fair catch by Sutton at the 30. And he was revving it up. A 42-yard punt, no return. So the Rams will start this offensive possession from the 30 when we return. Well, Johnny, do you go to the bullpen when you have numbers like this? You see Steve Young over there, and you don't want to discourage him or anything, but look, 3 of 12 for 23 yards. And time is now an important factor, especially when you've got a man like Dickerson who can eat up a whole lot of yards and a whole lot of time on the clock. The Rams lead by 3. 1st and 10 from the 30, and here's Dickerson. Good defensive play that time by Ricky Eastman, the cornerback, who came up and made the stop on Dickerson.
A real key for the Buccaneers has been the defensive backs making tackles. Coming up from the outside, coming down the line, and he takes a dive across here, and you hit somebody low, even an Eric Dickerson, around the ankles, and they'll go down.
He picked up a couple. It'll be 2nd and 8 now for the Rams. 7:56 on the clock. Rams up by 3, 2017. Dickerson is a lone back. He'll get it again. And he'll have the first down. Chris Washington finally drags him down. And that's what you got to worry about if you're Lehman Bennett, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This guy just eating the clock up on you and then putting it in the end zone at the end of a long drive for 6 points, and then your chances are practically nil.
Well, that's kind of what happened to Tampa Bay last week. They finally the Falcons started wearing them down, getting some big chunks of yardage, and now that's exactly what the Rams are going to try and do. And I think Tampa Bay is going to have to try some filling those gaps with those linebackers, taking some chances, and to stop these runs before they get started.
I agree. Atlanta did it with Gerald Riggs. This is Redden this time. He won't get much. Jeff Davis, the inside backer, who has been a steady force this afternoon for the Buccaneers in there. Rams rushing yards, season average 140. You see they're over that this afternoon, thanks to Dickerson. He's having a big day. Second and 7 from the 45. Bill's taking his time, letting the clock run down on the 32nd clock. It's Dickerson again, and he's just a couple yards shy of another first down.
You know, if you analyze
Solely on the hit. Excuse me, Johnny.
Excuse me, Wayne. If you analyze this, the defense has really risen to the occasion in the second half. They have consistently thwarted the Rams here in their running game and kept Tampa Bay in this game. And now they come up, they're called upon again. A 3rd and 2 situation with the clock still running. They've got to try and stop them here. We'll see if the Rams stick with the run.
4 down linemen in there now for Tampa Bay. That's Dickerson. And he's struggling forward and is very, very close to the first down. This may be another mark.
It depends on the spot where they spot it. It's going to be very close. The marker's 2 yards beyond the 50. So if you see him spot it, looks like he has it. It seems to be even a little bit forward of the hash mark. It looks like he has it.
he doesn't, what do? They go for it on 4th down in this situation, leading by 3?
I think they would probably punt because of the fact that the Tampa offense has not been able to really get anything going. But I don't think they'll have to face that decision unless my eyes are getting worse than I think they are. I think he's got it made.
Got it by about 1.5 feet. Your eyes are still good. Your hands always work.
First downs, the Rams 17, Tampa Bay 10. 5:37 on the clock and rolling.
And that's critical if you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
The Bucs have to take a chance to get them into a passing situation. They've got to take some risks.
Redden in motion to toss to Dickerson. And Browner, Keith Browner, the left side backer from USC, makes the stop. And the football playing Browner families and the football playing Wansley family. Flag was down on that last play, and I didn't see it.
Neither did I.
They call illegal procedure or something against the Rams then?
It would probably be declined if it was.
Illegal formation, offense, declined, 2nd down.
Illegal formation.
The Bucs' last win over the Rams in 1980. They beat them 10-9.
Playing tough.
That's right.
2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers in there now, along with Dickerson. Bills to throw. Out to David Hill, the tight end, and he'll be short of the 1st down as he's knocked out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain by Keith Browner once more. Look at that, Don Shula. He's usually a guy that can make adjustments, Johnny, but he's having problems this year.
110 yards rushing for George Rogers. Lomax was sacked 7 times as the Giants beat St. Louis. Cleveland over Pittsburgh. They finally won a game at Three River Stadium.
So the big 3rd down situation here. 3rd and 6 now. 44-yard line of Tampa Bay. Dills out of the shotgun to throw. It's batted away and incomplete. It may have been Nelson, number 71.
I believe it was. I think you're right. He came in there and batted the pass away, and they did what they needed to do, was stop him on 1st down with no gain and put him into a passing situation. And the defense has done it again, giving the offense another chance.
And they've got plenty of time. 4:40 on the clock. 4:45 to be exact. Tampa Bay with 3 timeouts left, so time would really not be a factor for them if they get some decent field position. Hatcher to kick. Terrell is standing at his 10-yard line to receive it.
The Rams went into a closed formation. Now I want to make sure they don't get a block.
Hatcher kicks a high spiral. Futrell calls for a fair catch. The ball bounces at the 5, and the Rams keep it out of the end zone and down it at about the 2-yard line. Timely special teams play by the Rams. You can't do it any better than that.
There's a little scuffle going down there on the goal line, but there's no doubt that the Rams got the good bounce on the punt, and they were down there to cover it, and Tampa Bay really in trouble now. Own 1-yard line.
A tremendous hang time on that punt by Hatcher.
Now, see, the ball hit on about the 5. You're not supposed to field it. No punt returner should field one there. And there was the play.
Futrell made the right decision by signaling for the fair catch and getting out of the way, but it was a Rams bounce. Coming up tonight on CBS, the all-new 60 Minutes, Murder, She Wrote, Part 2, and then The Last Frontier, starring Linda Evans and Jason Robards Jr. That's tonight, Sunday night, on CBS.
The biggest hole was in the quarterback sneak, believe it or not.
Young to throw. Flags are down. Complete to Giles out around the 8-yard line, short of the 1st down, but penalty markers are down all over the field. The 30-second clock run out. What'd you see,
No,
Johnny?
there was somebody moved too soon up. One of the receivers moved too quick.
Final motion, number 82, offense, still first down.
Another tough break for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, this a tough loss last week against Atlanta, but they've lost to teams that are playing pretty well in the National Football League. Atlanta with losing today for the first time. They lost to San Francisco, who had one loss, and they lost to Minnesota, who had one loss. So they've lost to some good teams. They may be better than people think, but they need some help here in a big play. As far away as you can get from the other end zone. Wansley. He gets 6 or 7 back. He's a threat.
That was pretty nice yardage for the Buccaneers, considering the situation where they were. They got out almost to the 7-yard line, and they have a second down situation.
And you see the time situation in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. A long way to go. Wansley now with 100 yards on the day unofficially and 16 carries.
The Rams sticking with their 3-4 defense.
2nd and 4. From the 7, Young to throw. Pressure's on him. Complete to Carter. Great throw, great catch. Young paid for that throw. He was nailed as he released.
And so was Carter when he caught the ball by Gray. Because he stretched him out. He had to reach up there, hang on with just the hands, no body to help out, and then take the punishment right in the small of the back. There's the hit on Young, and here comes the hit on Carter. And that doesn't help the back.
Any question about Steve Young's arm strength? He threw that out there on a wire.
You talk about a big play.
1st and 10 now for Tampa Bay. They've moved it out to the 18-yard line. 2:56 and moving on the clock. This is Wansley trying to get outside, cuts it back up for a couple. Johnny Johnson, Nolan Cromwell over defensively for the Rams. Timeouts remaining. Tampa Bay has them all.
They've gone into kind of a semi-hurry-up offense. No huddle.
2:29 and ticking. Young again. He'll scramble. And scramble out of bounds and stop the clock short of the first down.
So now we face a key 3rd down situation as Young. He is so quick and so mobile, even with that big old stomach pad that he has, the vest. As Lehman Bennett's got to come up with a big play now. 3rd and about 4. They'll be faced with a 4th down situation and a big decision.
He calls them all himself, as we told you earlier. I got to figure pass here, Johnny.
Well,
there's a long 3.
I think it should be some kind of a rollout.
There's a handoff to Wansley. Did he get it? He may have.
He
with
did.
That last effort over the top of a pile, picked up the first down.
Boy, it didn't look like he was going to get it, did it?
It didn't look good, did it, starting out?
Boy, he kept his eyes open, found the crease, and got the first down. Big play, because, boy, could they have been criticized for that one on the running play.
Winding down to 2 minutes, and we are there at the 2-minute warning. 17-20, the Buccaneers trail, but they have the ball. Stay with us.
Giving that extra effort makes
each other up at the line of scrimmage, but right now Steve Young and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Johnny, going to have to make some things happen. I don't know if they have time to run the ball down now on the ground.
Well, we were right about one thing. It was going to be a close game, right?
Well, we were right about another thing, too. I really definitely feel that that team you're looking at in that offensive huddle is a young team on the upswing.
Well, they could have been really down after losing to Atlanta, and you got to give Lehman Bennett credit for getting them back up. They had a nice victory against Detroit, and then they lost a toughie, and it could boil down to that young man here in a few minutes if the Bucs can move downfield.
He's got a strong leg. Nathan Wansley is in there still behind Young at quarterback. Young to throw. Pressure from the Rams. Dumps it to Wansley on the screen. Gets a block. But he'll be short of the first down. Perhaps should have tried to get out of bounds on that one, Johnny.
It would have helped their situation. They still have 3 timeouts, though, to work with. So they have time.
Second and 2. Young again.
There he goes.
He'll run it. He's got the first down. And more than likely, he's going to have to take a timeout and does. 1:20 121 and 120. If they stop the clock, they're going to have to reset it because they let about 2 or 3 seconds run off after Young signaled timeout.
Well, they'll have to get down to around, I would say, somewhere between the 30 and 35-yard line to have a reasonable chance to kick a game-tying field goal. They still have 2 timeouts, 1:19 to go. And once again, his mobility paid off that time. He spotted the opening and was able to get the first down. Lehman Bennett looking at his short list.
They still have not scored. Look at they're resetting the clock now, as we mentioned. They still have not scored in the fourth quarter of this season.
There's 5 minutes left in the game. No, there's
plenty of time now, huh?
Oh. We know it's got to be less than 2 minutes.
It should be about 121, 122, I think. Or 131. Now I'm confused. I can't remember where it was when Steve... Yeah, there it is, 123. I think that's about right. John Robinson seems happy with it.
And he wanted to make sure that clock was put at the right spot. He's been to the playoffs 3 years in a row. Lehman Bennett took the Falcons when he was coaching there to the playoffs a few times. And now we have a thinking game going on. You have a first down situation.
Steve Young, 5 of 14 now in the afternoon, just for 42 yards. Tampa Bay's net passing is just 26 yards. But Young's got him out with a 1st and 10 on their own 42-yard line.
The Rams' net passing couldn't be very much more than that. You talk about here we're seeing a pro football game, the best players in the United States, and they have 72 yards of passing, so we don't even have barely 100 yards passing between the 2 teams.
Wansley, the remaining back. Young with time. Looks for Carter, and it's complete across midfield. They'll have a first down. Good throw. Good timing on that one.
Yes, and I'm sure they had 2 plays ready to go as Young lines them up in a hurry. They're now down, getting close to that field goal range. They don't need a bomber now. They just need a couple of short completions.
Short drop. Got it into Kevin House, but House can't hang on. Throwing just a touch behind him and a bit low.
And I don't think House looked back quite in time. The ball was on him before he got a real beat on it as Igwe.
Way to go. Donald Igwe, who may be the man of the moment coming up for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You do have to be a different personality to be a kicker. There's no question about it. You stand there and you wait and wait and wait, and then everything rests on how you kick the ball. But that's what they're paid for.
It's 5 of 7 on the season. He missed by hitting the upright from 43 yards and then missed the kick from 53 yards. So he's got plenty of leg. And not within his range yet. 2nd and 10. On the Ram 44. Young for Carter. Complete first down, out of bounds, stop the clock. Everything you'd want on the play for Tampa Bay.
That's right. Now, he came down out of bounds, but he was forced out of bounds by the tackler, so you have to give him the completion there. So now they're down to within the range. 32-yard line. That would be about a 50-yard field goal. They want to get a few more yards, get a little bit closer.
Igwebuike's got the range for that, as you said, Johnny. 1st and 10 again for the Buccaneers.
Boy, they got a man-for-man situation out here.
The bottom of the left receiver down here, bottom of your screen. And that's where Young was looking, but he'll try to bail out of there and can't. He's down for a loss of 1 or 2. The 3rd sack of the afternoon for the Rams. And it's another timeout taken by Tampa Bay. So we've got it going here. The Rams 20, Tampa Bay 17, and it's not decided.
Good.
Donald Igwebuike, who could be a factor in this one shortly. But right now, if Tampa Bay has saved any special play offensively, now is the time we'll see it. We talked with them yesterday and with Steve Young, Johnny, and he told us they've got a couple rollouts and a couple dashes where they get him outside the pocket. They've only used him a couple times today, but both times they've been fairly successful with it.
He ran in for 1 touchdown, and the other time he kind of scrambled and made something out of it. Let's see what
Other than that, he's been in the pocket all day. 2nd and 12 from the 34. The Bucs trail by 3. That's Carter in motion. Young again, straight back. The ball is tipped, and it's incomplete. Doug Reed, number 93, with a hand up. The deflection on that pass.
Lehman Bennett is getting a little excited there. He was yelling out the signals for almost everybody to hear for the next play.
Third down and 12. You see all the numbers you need to see. From the 34-yard line. Here's the dash. Young pulls up, and it's complete. Complete on the sideline to Phil Freeman, number 81. Did he get out of bounds and stop the clock?
Well, they have one timeout left.
They say no, the clock is running, and Young's lining them up. First and 10 from the 20. That'll stop the clock. Well, we got what we wanted. You got what you wanted. Get Young out of the pocket a little bit to make things happen, and he did.
And he made some things happen. You got to give Freeman some credit for running a good pattern. But now the Buccaneers have one timeout left, 16 seconds on the clock. They're in perfect position. If they run the ball now, they'll probably run a little bit to the right to center the ball for Igwe-Bikwe. They can either do that, or they can go for the touchdown, go for a big play, and then settle for the field goal if they don't make it.
I'm not sure they can go for a big play, John. He's got to be careful with it. They can't have it intercepted. If it's not there, he's got to sit down with it and then call a timeout. Out of the pocket. And he threw it away. It wasn't there. He did the wisest thing. Stopping the clock with 11 seconds, and they can perhaps try one more play. That's what he said. One more time, didn't he?
Well, if they're going to do that, they better throw it an out-of-bounds pass or into the end zone or something, because if somebody catches a short pass and runs around a little bit, they would not maybe have time to use their last time out and get a field goal off. So they're now down in the risky danger area.
Looking ahead, if Igwe-Bikwe came on from where the ball is now, he would be attempting perhaps about a 35, 36-yard field goal. But that's later. This is now. 3rd and 10. Young is down, and a flag is down. They called him in the grass, and they probably called a face mask.
They may have called a face mask. It looked like his head was jerked back.
Well, I don't know how he came out of that.
He's still alive. I'll tell you what, his neck was really jerked back. Whether it was face masking or not, I don't know. It might have been just from the hit, but it kind of appeared to be that way.
And he bent back like a pretzel there at one time.
Yeah, boy, that was a tough hit.
Face mask. Defense.
I think they're going to have to go for the field goal.
Now they are. Igwe-Bikwe comes on with Steve DeBerg, his holder. There's the penalty.
Face mask. Defense.
Kevin Green with the face masking. It's a 37-yard field goal.
A swing of the leg. He's got it. We're tied. We've got overtime. 20-20 now. The Rams and the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay has never led in this ballgame.
And that's the first points they have scored in the fourth quarter this year. And it came at a timely moment as they tie the game 20-20. And Igwe-Bikwe does the job. Tampa Bay Rams in overtime.
The second field goal of the afternoon. He's now 6 of 7 for the season. None of them bigger than that one. We'll have a coin toss naturally in midfield now as the teams send out their captains. This is so important right here to win this coin toss. Tampa Bay is the visiting team, Johnny, and they'll get to make the decision.
But they've taken some statistics, and you always assume that let's listen to what's going on.
We'll have a 2-minute warning if necessary. You call the coin in the air, please. Heads he calls. Tails. We'll take the football. Football.
Rams ball. You saw it. You heard it. It was heads. It came up tails. And we'll be back with the overtime. Stay with us. This is a good one. Buccaneers, they lost last week to the Atlanta Falcons on a Mick Luckhurst field goal. 2020 was the end of that regulation game last week. Luckhurst kicking the field goal for Atlanta on Atlanta's second possession of overtime. It'll be the Rams that get first try here. The scoring drive that was engineered by Steve Young. 17 plays, 80 yards, Johnny. Pretty impressive.
That's taken them a little at a time, and they had 2 or 3 key plays during that drive where they got the yardage that was necessary. So the offense finally did respond late in the game.
Might look back sometime on Steve Young's career and say that was the moment that he turned the corner as an NFL cornerback. Brown and White. This is Brown. He's dangerous. He takes it out across the 25-yard line to the 27 where he's down. So the Rams with decent field position.
Kevin Murphy on the tackle, and a good open field tackle as Steve Dills comes back onto the field. The last overtime game, 1980 versus Atlanta, and the Rams won that one 20-17. So now I'm sure they'll try and reestablish Eric Dickerson, who has not been as big a factor in this football game in the second half as he was the first half.
Had over 100 yards rushing in the first quarter alone. 1st and 10 now for Los Angeles. The ball is on the 27-yard line. It's Dickerson and Redden in the backfield with Dills. Dills to throw. Short drop intended for Duckworth, complete at the 40. And he'll take it to the 45-yard line. An 18-yard gain. Steve Dills to Bobby Duckworth. Rod Jones on the defensive coverage.
So they came out and threw on first down, which they haven't done all that much, especially here in the second half.
Dills is now 10 for 21, 102 yards on the afternoon. Redden comes out. Double tight ends now for the Rams. Dickerson the remaining back. What does that tell you? That's Hunter in motion. That means he runs. Trying to get outside. Browner makes a fine defensive play from his left linebacker spot. More great action coming up next Sunday on CBS. These Rams against the Atlanta Falcons in a Western Conference game. For those of you here in the West. In Florida, you'll see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the St. Louis Cardinals. Or the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. A pair of good, tough defenses in that one.
The Buccaneers defense did what they wanted. They have now put the Rams into a passing situation.
2nd and 13. Redden with Dickerson now. Dills to throw, complete to Brown. He'll have the first down. Again in front of the rookie Rod Jones, number 22. 15-yard gain on this one.
Rod Jones has done a good job, but he's playing it a little bit soft there as they pick up the blitz. Barry Redden picked up the blitz, and here's the hit on Ron Brown, but not before he could get the first down, as the Rams are starting to hit the wide receivers a little bit more now, which they didn't do through the first 3 quarters of this football game. So Dills now responding as Steve Young did when he had to.
42-yard line of Tampa Bay. Dickerson the remaining back on a counter. Cuts it up the middle, and he may go. This may be it. Dickerson will score. The game is over. No flags anywhere. 42-yard touchdown run by Eric Dickerson, and the Rams have won it in overtime. 12:44 remaining in overtime, and Eric Dickerson has put it away for the Rams. The cream comes to the top.
What a game, and you stop to think he had one called back, but he cuts back so nice to the offside of the line. It was a counter play, came back across the line, and Eric Dickerson took advantage of it. Lehman Bennett.
Steve Bartkowski, who played for him in Atlanta. Eric Dickerson scored in the first quarter a 40-yard touchdown run, and this was a dandy.
We'll take one more look at Eric Dickerson and his touchdown, and notice the fake action you'll see Dickerson kind of like that comes across, and you see Jackie Slater comes across with a great block.
Look at that move.
Look at that move. In midair, he just kind of slipped the tackle, and the last man was no chance to get him. And once Dickerson gets in the open, it was touchdown USA.
That was an incredible move in the hole. It looked so much better from that end zone than it did from the side here. You really can't see what he did right there.
Well, he actually shifts directions in midair. He's able to jump in the air and come down a yard or two to his right or to his left. And then it's Katie bar the door. She goes in, touchdown Dickerson.
Proving what we've known for so long, that Eric Dickerson is truly special. 30 carries today, 207 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Rams win it 26-20. Johnny Morris, this is Wayne Walker saying goodbye from Anaheim Stadium, and let's go to New York now, and Brent Musser.